Okay, folks, I think it's time to start the meeting, and we'll start with the pledge of the flag. So all that are able, please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have a roll call, please? Don?
Gables East first and second floor, Peggy Harris. Here. Gables East third floor, Dorothy Savigny. Present. Gables East fourth floor, John Dorodic.
Here.
Gables East fifth floor, Phyllis Schwartz. Here. Gables West first floor, Bob Case.
Here.
Gables West third floor, Judith Laughlin. Here. Gables West fourth floor, Beverly Winslow. Here. Gables West fifth floor, Ron Sharpless.
Here.
And Harbor Terrace, Bob Lyda.
Here.
Everyone is accounted for.
Thank you. Approval of last month's meetings minutes. Are there any changes or additions? Okay.
This came as a result of passing the minutes around, and I don't know if it's correct or not, but there was a question. On page 13 of the minutes, Landscape Committee, my note from the resident is that Judith Lackland is not responsible for the report. Is that so? Are you doing it voluntarily,
I'm
or?
not doing anything with landscape.
So you're out of it?
I'm out of it.
Okay.
At least as far as landscape goes.
What did she say? What was her answer?
She's not responsible. She's not doing anything with landscaping.
Okay.
Anything else for the changes or additions to the minutes? I have a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, the minutes are approved. Can we have the executive director's report?
Good morning, everyone. We'll go ahead and start with occupancy. Currently today, we have 273 independent living apartments occupied. 353 residents reside here in independent living. So we're about 66% occupied. In January, we have 2 move-ins that are yet to be scheduled. They will happen before the end of the month. And we have 3 move-outs. 1 person moved out to be closer to family. We had 1 transfer over to the healthcare center, and unfortunately 1 resident passed away. In SNF right now, our census is around 92. In assisted living, our current census is 58. And in memory care, we're almost full. We have 47 residents of 48 apartments. COVID unfortunately continues to remain relatively high throughout the nation. The state of Florida is currently reporting a 26.8% positivity rate, with Charlotte County reporting at a 34.8% positivity rate. The CDC still shows Charlotte County as red or high level of community transmission, and we currently have 7 staff members and 4 residents who are confirmed positive. As you all know, staffing still remains a challenge. However, we have seen an uptick in the number of applicants we are seeing apply since the start of the year. And we will continue to work diligently in hiring candidates to fill all of our positions. Speaking of new positions, I'd like to introduce you all to our new housekeeping director, Olga Streklova. I think I probably butchered that. She started yesterday, so she's currently in orientation. She comes to us with 16 years of housekeeping experience in the senior living industry, the most recent being over in Jacaranda Trace in Venice. We're very excited to have Olga welcome our team, and I was just going to have her just say a quick hello.
You're really low classy.
I was practicing all night.
Hi, my name is Olga Strokova. Just a little bit about myself. I am originally from Russia. I've been in Florida for the past 24 years. And 15 of those years, I worked with Jacaranda Trace. I started off with them with Aramark, and then they went in-house, and I was transferred from Aramark to Jacaranda Trace, employee with the same company. And I'm really excited to meet all of you. I'm really looking forward to getting to know all of you and all your needs. And please be patient with me for the first couple of weeks. Once I get to know everything, I'll be good. Thank you.
Okay, and a project near and dear to your heart, Gables East. The renovation project is still underway. We did have to transfer to a new design company, so they're working through the design specifics now. They will be presenting that to the Gables East Renovation Committee. And the construction vendor has already been selected, so once the design is selected, we're ready to go on the project. Sorry. I forget it's supposed to be off. So Gables East renovation project. We did have to change our design vendor, which delayed the project a little. Just gonna leave it there. And as a result, they're working through new design concepts. They'll be presenting to the Gables East Renovation Committee. Once that's done, we have already selected the construction vendor, so we'll be ready to go. And last but not least, I have the official presentation of the Southport Square President's Club to go to Mr. Sharpless, who proudly served the resident council in 2021. Yes, it will go up on the wall.
Any questions from council?
You want to get into issues?
No, just for the executive director's report, do you have any questions on that? You're okay? The only comment I'd make about the design, I think Brian had commented to Phyllis and I that the one thing the design group is working through is not only coming up with good design, but also the availability of the product. Because they don't want to have a design and then come back and say the product's not available for 3 or 4 months. So that's the problem that they're trying to work through also.
Brian also mentioned that the design company is trying to work out all of the permitting issues so that they don't get started here and then find out that they're missing a permit. So that's taking a little while as well.
Okay, we're going to go into the floor representative reports. Because of what I would like to do is have a quick meeting so that we can close this with questions from the residents, but then we want to go into a work session. So I would ask that the floor reps, their reports are going to be in the minutes. So the only thing I'm asking for is if you have questions or concerns for management, if you would do that, I would appreciate it. So we'll start with Peggy.
First and second floors, Gables East met. We have no concerns to present to the council.
Thank you. Third floor, mask. Push it, turn it on. It's on, right? Okay, there you go.
Our main concern was lack of employees, but that's taking place all over the nation, so we knew there was nothing we could do about it.
And the only thing that we had on the fourth floor was dining. Please stop changing all the time. It's nothing but confusing. Pick what we're going to do in the dining area and stick with it. Fifth floor.
There's nothing to be added.
Okay, Gables West. Bob.
I refer everyone to the council minutes. Thank you.
Third floor.
It's me. I have a couple of items, primarily regarding the communications. For example, you wanted to know if there was actually a new dining room manager in Gables West, and if so, who is it and why has no announcement been made? Similarly, there was a question of the new director of housekeeping, and it was the same. If so, who is it, and why has no announcement been made? But one was announced on the 24th. On Sundays, the question was raised that some people are having difficulty picking up their food in the pre-noon times designated for their wing due to church attendance. And the question was, is it okay if they pick up food during the later time period if they designate this on their menu, or should they wait until 4 p.m. for the dinner? And that's all I had.
Fourth floor.
No report.
Ron.
Okay, fifth floor, we're like the others, very concerned about the dining situation. It's been absolutely chaotic and extremely confusing. But the worst thing is the bags that are out over 2 hours. This is happening on a regular basis. And I know a couple people who feel they come down with food poisoning. So this has got to be fixed right now. Now, on the 4th of January, I spoke to Brian Hess about it. I also spoke to him about it last Friday at the coffee chat, and nothing's being done. So, and I'll tell you right now, if it's not corrected immediately, I'm going to go to the State Department of Health. All right? That's my report.
Any comments from you, Vicki?
Okay, I'm gonna have you talk, just 1 second. Lack of employees. I know Donna and her team has been working diligently on getting many people in here. We actually have an orientation class of 8, which is our largest orientation class in a while. We also have a job fair over in Punta Gorda next week, which Donna and her team will be attending. But we are definitely trying new things to try and get employees in here. As for dining, I will defer to Brenda. So Brenda, if you wanna come up and grab a microphone and address the dining. I can assure you that as of right now, no dining changes will be made in regards to reopening the dining rooms until we're ready to reopen the dining rooms.
Good morning. So as Vicki mentioned, we already have a system that for most of you is working okay, right? So we have no intention of changing that. The only thing that you may see starting tomorrow is we're gonna have like a buffet on Wednesdays and Fridays. So you can come, still, you're gonna pick up your food, but it's gonna be right there and then, it's hot, and if you wanna stay in the dining room with your friends, you can do so, okay? About the bags, this is independent living. So we have instructions, we have a window of a time that you need to come and pick up your bag. We cannot be responsible if you forget your bag. We are doing our best to call people and remind them. I myself have been delivering bags when I shouldn't, but I am trying to be nice. Food poisoning is a concern. It is a concern. That's why you need to be there in your allotted time, okay? Any questions on that part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say we need to be there, but when the bags sit out for more than 2 hours, they're supposed to be trashed.
And
That's
it,
not happening.
Well-
Okay, it's not happening.
okay.
So the compromise we talked about that we will make sure is happening in the dining room is that when they are bagged up, all bags will have times on them, so you guys will know exactly when your bag was packed. And this way, any server, after the 2-hour window, will take that bag and they will discard the bag. We just need to make sure that's being done consistently and with every meal time.
And a lot of you forget and things like that. We are trying to work with you. But it's a lot of you and a few of us, okay? So we need your cooperation. The other thing that.
We'll send a memo out to let you know that we'll be putting the times on the bag, so anybody not listening to this will know why there's a time on their bag. We will work on getting them discarded, if they're not picked up, and then we're not gonna change the dining room until we're ready to fully open. Because like you, we don't like all of the changes. We do know it causes, a problem with you in your normal life. As far as Sunday, we will try and figure out what we can do for a compromise, because there is no meal service on dinner on Sundays. So we will have to figure out some compromise, so give us a little bit of time and we'll get back with the council.
That's as far as the church thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ron, or, pardon, John, can I ask Vicki a question, please? Yes. I want to ask Ron the question, excuse me. Ron, who diagnosed the food poisoning, I ask?
Pardon?
Who diagnosed food poisoning?
A nurse of an individual that was sick, a nurse friend. She gave the symptoms and said, "Boy, that sounds like food poisoning."
Okay,
My lady friend.
that's not a satisfactory diagnosis, Ron.
Well, I don't know why.
Well, it's not,
Very
so,
suspicious.
okay, you're going higher up because of something suspicious?
Well, it is. because-
You better get some more proof before you start doing things like that.
Well, how much do you need?
Well, pardon me?
Suspicious of it. Okay? And when you put food out for that long, and the way it sits around.
There's such a thing as making a correct diagnosis.
Okay, we got the floor reps, we've got the response. Okay, all of the other reports, housekeeping and dining and all that will be part of your minutes. I'm going to allow one report though from FLICRA. Curry told me he would be very brief. He wants to thank us all.
Here you go, buddy.
Good morning. The Southport Square FLICRA chapter conducted a successful membership drive combined with a free raffle, which was offered to the current membership and also new members. This coincided with the certification of the homestead exemption tax equivalent. The signings were done in the east and west lobbies. Good information about FLICRA was shared with all the people, and the results was 34 new supporters of the organization. We would like to thank Southport Square management and especially Don Ayala, the executive assistant, for all their support, not only in that initiative, but others. The winners of the $100 Visa gift cards were Harbor Health Ann Franklin, Gables East Kathy Resch, Gables West Rita Serino.
Thank you. And I apologize, Bob. You want to give your report for Harbor Health?
Harbor Terrace held their meeting on January 13th at 2:30 in the afternoon. We had 17 residents in attendance. David Reiser gave the administrative report, and he discussed current face mask requirements for the second and third floor residents. He also informed us that the Harbor Terrace positivity rate of 5 positive residents and 2 staff members. And he then opened the floor for questions and answers. There were no concerns from housekeeping, laundry, nursing services, dining room, maintenance, and activities. A motion was approved to adjourn the meeting, and it was at 3:15 p.m. Highlights of the town hall meeting of December 28th were read to the residents that concern Harbor Terrace. Our next meeting will be February 8th at 2:30 p.m. in the social area of the 3rd floor. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have one piece of business that we need to conduct, and that is to vote on a new member for the Finance Committee. Ron, you have submitted his name, Chester DeWitt. He's been nominated. Can we have a second on that nomination?
I'll second it.
Okay. And all approved, or all in favor? Aye.
Okay. By the way, he's a former CPA, so he won't qualify.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
Is he here? No.
Thank you. President John, I would appreciate it relative to the committee chairs and their reports that you would acknowledge us and not assume that they can go directly to the minutes. I respectfully ask your assistance in that.
I guess I'm not sure. What, you want me to say your name, you mean, for the, who's representing that committee?
Well, ask if it's, at least from my standpoint, I'd like to say something, but you have not given me the opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned, that they were all gonna be included in the minutes.
I understand that.
Okay.
Okay, forget it.
Fire and safety.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I think I need a lighter moment. So, relative to fire and safety, I'd like to say something on behalf of Randy. He's here, so it's not like I'm not saying it directly to him. But at our meeting, Randy needed a piece of paper, and I thought I had one, but I only had one sheet which I had written on, so I tore it in half and handed him the sheet. So, Randy, I also, yesterday, on the chair in your office, I put half a piece of paper. Did you find it? And that's my report. Thank you, Mr. President.
Now we know what that's for.
Okay. I'd like to, the next council meeting will be on February 22nd at 10 a.m. It'll be more of a normal, hopefully. But I'd like to adjourn this meeting now. And are there any questions from the residents?
Actually, I have a question regarding, do we have a Gables West dining room manager? And if, the question was asked at my floor meeting, if we have a Gables West dining room manager. And a simple yes or no will do.
Yes, we do. Her name is Janet, and I actually put on the follow-up for us to send a memo out to Gables West residents. So I do have that noted for us to send out to Gables West residents today.
Thank you, we are so happy.
Are there any other questions? And, you know, I don't see well, folks, so, you know, raising your hand, you're not gonna be, I'm not gonna know it. You're gonna have to yell or do something. Jump up and down. No questions? Okay, thank you all for coming. And if the rest of the board would stick around, we got some things to talk about. Thank you.